Hello, this is Dr. Brian Weiss, and back here on the YouTube channel to answer more questions. And I want to thank so many of you for sending in questions. We solicited the questions and received many hundreds of questions, so many duplicated themselves. I just want to go over some of these briefly and get directly to the answers. I enjoyed this question from Dave. After dying and realizing one's left the body, is there a certain place, let's say something like a terminal, where souls can be directed or sent back and forth to different planets, universes, or times? Or in other words, are we always sent back to the same planet or environment where we came to from this terminal? And that reminds me of the movies like Dead Again and some other movies where people would go to the other side and continue their learning, and that turns out to be accurate. There is a place we go, the higher realms, higher dimensions. And dimensions are basically levels of consciousness or different frequencies. And we go to the level where we're comfortable. So it's not really a building or a terminal, but there we review our lives, we go over how we did we help people, did we progress along our spiritual pathway, did we evolve? But not all lifetimes are spent here on the earth plane, learning and growing and evolving. We learn in many different dimensions, many different energetic places, other universes. This is just one of innumerable schools where we learn our lessons. If our lessons are here, we need to be in a physical body to learn these lessons, such as in relationships or with emotions or physical illness and pain. This may not occur in other dimensions where we don't have physical bodies, or perhaps we're in light bodies or bodies without such physical density. And then we'll learn in other dimensions too. In many lives, many masters, Catherine remarked that she had lived in other places in other times, but she had lived in this dimension, in this planet, more than 80 times. And so there are other schools as well as this one. By the way, Earth is a very popular school now, so many people are being attracted here. And this really answers the question about numbers, which many of you also asked. We're not restricted to the number of souls on this planet. Souls come from many different dimensions, many other places. Souls can split and have many different experiences, so it's best not to be concerned about numbers. Another question from Sandeep is related, and it said, "It is said in your books that during the time before a soul chooses another body, it recuperates and reflects on its past life. So I am unable to understand how come after the soul has recuperated, the past life traumas are carried and accumulated too." This question gets to physical and emotional illness. For example, many of our symptoms, illnesses, maladies, come from past life traumas. We may have died in a past life in a certain way, let's say speared in the back in the Middle Ages battle, and we have back pain in this life. Sandeep is asking, how does this happen? If the soul is recuperated, why do we carry over symptoms? And the answer is that happens at a soul level. The soul recuperates. The soul doesn't have a physical body. The soul is healed, and this happens at the end of every physical lifetime. But we have to see if we've really learned our lessons. And so when we come back into physical form, when we reincarnate again on the earth, then the body still has these signs. It carries over talents, abilities, symptoms, because we have to see if we've really learned these lessons. So the one is soul being recuperated, and the other is the new physical body built on the template of past karma and past traumas. It still can incorporate these symptoms. One more here in this session, and that is from Ornella and also from Julie. If we are here on earth and living a happy, full, wonderful life, why do we have such an interest in the realm beyond? A feeling of yearning, a void, a piece that is missing in this realm. And I find a lot of people have this. We dimly remember the other side, having been there and experienced there, the beauty of it, the joy of it, the recuperation, the spirituality of it. And when we come back here, no matter how good the life is, we still remember our home, because that really is the home for the soul. It is the other side, the spiritual dimensions. And we remember that, and sometimes with a real yearning. On the other side is beauty and peace, a sense of wholeness, and no traumas in that sense, no tragedies, no physical illness, no death. And we remember that, and we always yearn for that. So it's good if you can remember a little bit more of it, because then you won't fear death so much. You won't fear death because you know the other side is filled with joy and light and peace and recuperation. And really that is our true home. Because we are spiritual beings, not human beings. We'll elaborate on this point more in future YouTube sessions, but thank you for these questions, and I'll speak to you again soon.